Have you ever noticed something strange, something almost paradoxical about human connection? You see it happen all the time. Someone offers a genuine, heartfelt compliment. That presentation was brilliant. Or, you have a beautiful smile. And what happens? Instead of a simple thank you, they deflect. They minimize. They argue. Oh, that old thing, it was nothing. I almost messed up. It's like they've been handed a gift wrapped in sunshine, and they immediately try to throw it away. It challenges our common assumption that praise is automatically a good thing. Why would a person consciously reject something everyone craves? Validation. There's a deep, hidden mechanism at play here. And in the next 10 minutes, we're going to uncover the quiet, complicated psychology behind the people who just can't accept a compliment. Think about you for a moment. Has a compliment ever felt like a spotlight on something you weren't ready to show? When someone says, "You did an amazing job," does a tiny, immediate voice in your head scream, "Wait until they see the truth. Wait until they see all the effort, the doubt, the sheer luck that went into that"? You immediately feel this urge, a kind of psychological reflex, to bat it away. Why? Because a compliment, for some of us, is not a gift. It feels like an unstable loan, a promise we're terrified we won't be able to keep. You worry that if you accept it, you're setting the bar too high. You're confirming a competence you're not sure is permanent. You're nodding along to a story about yourself that you suspect is fiction. And this is where it gets interesting. The psychology behind this runs deeper than just low self-esteem. It involves a concept called psychological symmetry. When a person gives you a compliment, they're offering you a piece of their reality. I see you as capable, or I see you as talented. The socially appropriate, symmetrical response is to accept it, to allow their reality to become yours, even for a moment. But here's the thing. For people who struggle with praise, their internal reality is asymmetrical. Their self-perception, the one they've been living with for years, clashes violently with the positive mirror being held up. You see yourself as flawed, as constantly on the brink of failure. When someone says, "You're so organized," you think, "If they only saw my desk last night, they would retract that immediately." This clash creates a sudden, acute discomfort. You feel like an imposter. And what is the fastest way to resolve that internal conflict? You don't update your self-image. No, you destroy the compliment. You deny it. You diminish it. You say, "Anyone could have done that," because that brings your two realities, their positive one and your negative one, back into miserable alignment. You choose the familiar comfort of your own low self-regard over the risky, terrifying possibility of being seen as truly good. But here's what's truly fascinating. This discomfort isn't just about what you think of yourself, it's about what you think will happen next. We need to talk about early life experiences, specifically attachment theory. A compliment is a moment of pure, unqualified positive attention. If you grew up in an environment where attention, even positive attention, was often followed by a catch, a correction, or a sudden withdrawal, then your brain learned a critical protective lesson. Positive attention is a precursor to pain. Imagine a child who hears, "That drawing is beautiful," only to have the parent immediately follow up with, "But you should really stay inside the lines next time." Or, "You got an A. You'll get an A next time too, right?" The compliment wasn't a finished moment of pure joy. It was a trap, a trigger for an expectation you might fail to meet. And so, as an adult, when someone praises your work, your mirror neurons fire, not with pleasure, but with a warning. You anticipate the inevitable, but the expectation, the weight of future performance, and your automatic defense mechanism kicks in. Reject the compliment before it can hurt you. Reject the pedestal before you can fall off it. This is why your immediate reaction might be to find the nearest flaw in yourself or the nearest person to whom you can attribute the success. You're trying to share the spotlight to dilute the perceived danger. You're saying, "No, the weight of this success cannot rest only on my shoulders." Here's the truth. A simple thank you is an act of deep vulnerability. Think about it. When you accept a compliment, you let your guard down. You're saying, "Yes, I agree. I am worthy of this praise." You are making yourself emotionally available for the person giving it. It's an affirmation of connection, a mutual exchange. For the person who deflects, that is the most dangerous moment, because vulnerability feels like a loss of control. If you accept the praise, you're now under a kind of unspoken obligation to maintain it, to live up to it, and you're admitting you care about the giver's opinion. But if you reject it, you regain control. You are dictating the terms of the interaction. You are saying, "I decide what is true about me, not you." The rejection isn't about the other person. It's a desperate attempt to stay inside your self-constructed fortress of certainty, where the walls are built of known flaws. In that fortress, you might not be happy, but you are safe. You're protected from the devastating blow of not meeting an expectation that you never truly accepted in the first place. But here's what's really happening when you constantly deny. This is the tragic long-term consequence. Every time you deflect a compliment, you're not just rejecting the other person's words, you are rejecting your own future self. You are slamming the door on any potential growth. You are telling your brain over and over that the positive feedback is incorrect, temporary, or undeserved. You are reinforcing the old critical narrative, and you're teaching your own mirror neurons to ignore or even feel uncomfortable with positive validation. You may think you're being humble. You may even be praised for your humility. But the truth is, you're not humble. You're hiding. And this leads to another contradiction. By constantly minimizing your accomplishments, you actually force the giver to try harder to convince you. This inadvertently turns the genuine compliment into a little, exhausting tug of war. They have to work to be heard. You're creating distance where you could be building connection. So, how do we begin to dismantle this invisible wall? It starts with a gentle reframe. First, stop confusing acceptance with arrogance. Accepting a compliment is not the same as believing you are flawless, or the best, or that you don't have further to go. Acceptance is simply allowing the truth of a moment to exist. Here's a technique. The next time someone offers you praise, remember the concept of the 5-second rule. For 5 seconds, resist the urge to explain, rationalize, or diminish. Just take a deep breath. Let the silence hang. And then say this: "Thank you. I really appreciate you noticing that." That's it. You don't have to agree with the compliment's full magnitude. You are simply accepting their effort, their kindness, their act of seeing you. You are validating their experience of you, and in doing so, you slowly, incrementally start to validate the positive part of your experience. You are teaching your nervous system a new, revolutionary lesson. Praise is not a threat, it's just information, and it's an opportunity for connection. We started with the paradox of the rejected compliment. We've seen that it's not a snub, it's a self-defense mechanism born from old wounds and the terror of vulnerability. If you are one of those people, if you feel that internal lurch and the need to deflect, please know this: you are not ungrateful. You are protecting an old, tender place inside yourself. Your instinct is completely understandable, but the cost of that protection is too high. It walls you off from the love, the connection, and the self-belief you truly deserve. Today, grant yourself permission to receive. Grant yourself permission to simply say, "Thank you," and let that good energy, that moment of sunshine, land where it belongs. Your worth is not a performance you have to maintain. It is a presence you have the right to inhabit. Start small. Start simple. Just say, "Thank you," and allow yourself to believe, even for a split second, that the beautiful thing they see in you is the beautiful thing that is already there.